Hello and welcome back. We are joined again with our hero, Habidibi Sashimi, also aka The Dunce, wearing his black leotard and shield bearers, provided with a letter and a little bit of cash. Here is our stats from what we have. We are doing decent on the justice, I think. I don't know. Justice or fame, which one's better? Lawful to lawless. Nah. Defensive, offensive. I like being defensive. Because defensive means you can hold out longer in any fight, right? And then offensive, during your defense bit, you can then find openings and counterattack. That's how I see that one. Team player. I would like to be a soloist eventually. That means I can take care of myself. I don't have to rely on a group, which I think that's going to come down to eventually. Family is 90%. I'm surprised that didn't go down after what I did regarding to my parents in the last chapter. And then Victon, he's just a dick. So, chapter 3, the lowercase. Jump right in. It's been a minute and 10 seconds, goddamn, of me just talking and doing a recap. You free fall to the streets below, dropping 10 stories before you tense your muscles and feel your flight powers kick in. Most people think flying feels like floating, but it's really more like swimming. It takes a lot of muscle control and endurance. Luckily, you've been training for years, the way a runner trains for a marathon, so you can fly today without much trouble. You pull upward, feeling gravity work with you instead of against you. You stretch out your arms and climb up into the sky, the exertion causing a familiar tingling in your abs. You allow yourself one joyride up into the bank of clouds before sweeping back down towards the cover of the skyline. Having your hero license makes flying legal, but you still need to start your career with an unregistered flying ticket. So you cruise low against the buildings towards the heart of the city, toward downtown MC. Every time you use your powers, your power level lowers. Different power uses exertion different costs. For example, this kind of normal flying only lowers your power by 2. It's important to keep an eye on your power level as you begin to enter battles, but right now you're strong at 98. Yep, god damn it. Your flight from the eastern fringes takes you across the quaint brownstones of Rain Hill and through Valor Park, pulling in close to the high-end metal giants that mark downtown. You land on a ledge lined with silver statues of Greek gods and goddesses. One of the hardest parts... Well, that was a bad yawn. One of the hardest parts of a rookie is finding cases. A fact you're reminded of is a pink-clad heroine bothers some teenagers in a nearby alley, and 3 metal sentries thunder through the sky above you. Even if you're lucky enough to stumble upon a decent case, you'll still have to beat out dozens of other aspiring heroes to accomplish the mission and get the credit. So how are you going to find your first legitimate hero opportunity? Jenny, you. I'm so happy I did that one. You and you and search the hero class of... Ooh, what's that? I guess I should talk to my agent, just to be safe, yeah? When your life was turned upside down by your parents' imprisonment, one of the only people you could trust was a PIP agent assigned to your case, Jenny Yu. Even though Jenny doesn't have powers on her own, she loves powered hero stuff just as much as you do. So when you had no one else to talk to, you and Jenny would spend hours gushing about all your favorite heroes, games, and comics. Of course, Jenny is the first person you wanted to call and tell about your heroic start, especially since she'll have advice on how to find a good first case. You hold your arm up and press a button in your metal wristband, popping open a panel to reveal your embedded ME chip. You can't imagine what life was like before humans merged with their tablets. Ju just does so much for you. Hell, most days she even feels like your best friend. You also have your ME chip to thank for your powers, since the current accepted powered origin theory is the advanced technology paved the way for powered abilities. This theory suggests that once humans integrated with tablet technology, these tablets began to cover many basic functions, like memory and navigation, for example. One suggested to this technological advancement, the human body was able to evolve, unlock new potential in the form of powered abilities. These powers then began to solve pressing global problems, since humans could now do things that generate natural resources and thrive in harsher conditions. It seems that early 21st century technology boom laid the groundwork for the 22nd century powered boom, which has once again caused the world to change in startling and exciting ways. However, despite the ME chip's ceaseless wonders, you currently just need to make a call. Ju, you say. Call Jenny you. Sure thing, Sugar Plum. Miss E. Chip J. Echoes in your ear. Remind Jenny I have that makeover file ready for it whenever she's ready. Jenny picks up right away. Her face appears holographically in front of you. Since she's such a geek, you tend to forget how pretty Jenny is. She's half Korean, half British. She always wears her hair in a tight ponytail and never applies a bit of makeup, causing her to appear sleek and no nonsense at all times. Actually, you think Jenny is super hot. Sadly, she also appears to be super gay. Right now, Jenny looks a bit surprised to see you, probably because she has never seen your dunce costume before. I assume this means your grandma gave you your license, Jenny says, traces of her British... I could try to do a British accent, but I don't want to offend any more people than what I've already had with my names and what I've said. So, you mean you knew Grandma had my license? You didn't tell me, you asked, mildly offended. Please, your grandmother would have murdered me if I had ruined her surprise. Anyway, check your email for your birthday present, Jenny says, looking over you. And just so you know, that costume makes your waist look bloody enormous. That Jenny, such a charmer, not missing a beat. You shoot back, says a girl who channels a ponytail every day. You've caught me. I'm positively batty with envy. Now I have to run, but I've got another tip for you. A finger tip, if you will. Ah. Well, wait, what does that mean? Before you can finish, Jenny hangs up on you, one of her favorite things to do. Knowing that calling her back would be useless, you ask me Chip Jew to open your email instead. Sure enough, Jenny has sent you quite a fantastic birthday present. A link to a hand-picked heroic case listings. Maybe she's not so intolerable. I knew it! I did good! You smile as you start to read because these cases have been sponsored by Rexford Schillers, MC's wealthiest playboy. His family had a major stake in the construction of the Big Sur fusion plant that now powers all of Western America. Turns out, Rexford recently held a charity gala at his townhouse for the Powered Orphan Fund. Fight! It was the most attended ball of the social season, especially since the theme was a powered masquerade ball. The party was a smashing success, but the next day Rexford woke up to find one of his most prized possessions had been stolen. Party guests managed to get past the considerable security measures and steal a valuable Angelino artifact. Ow. The Gravitas, a mysterious rod rumored to have hidden powers. What little is known of the Gravitas makes it one of a kind, highly valuable, and potentially dangerous. The police are looking into the theft, but Rexford wants the artifact back so badly that he has opened the case up to any powered hero with a reward of 150 grand. That's a lot of cheddar for a rod, sir. Check between your damn pants. It's there too. Maybe not as magical, but it definitely has surprises. I mean, depending on the situations. You nearly choke. That's a lot of money, man. With such a large reward, at stake, along with inevitable media coverage surrounding the high-profile case, you know the competition of this one is going to be fierce. You check the page views on the listings, and of course, it has already been visited thousands of times. Still, you promise yourself you go big or go home. This would certainly qualify as going big, though the real reason you want to take this case is because I really need that reward. They will definitely get my name in the heroic world. This could help launch you into at least D-list fame in MC, a solid place to start your climb. Unfortunately, the only clue available on the case is a photo of a suspected thief who is an unnamed +1 guest at the gala. The photo features a man dressed in an expensive suit and wearing a mask themed after regalia, a very flamboyant hero/rock star to match his emerald-encrusted mask. The thief's suit is lined with green piping and his fingertips are painted yellow. This photo isn't a whole lot to go on, so you start to wonder what kind of, but then a thought hits you so hard you almost fall off the ledge. Jenny's fingertip. She's a genius. You think knowing these fingertips may be your one shot at solving this case before anyone else. Do you remember what color the thief's fingertips were? You just said yellow. Okay. That's right, his fingertips were yellow. This is a very important detail that no one else is bound to know the significance behind. MC's go. Oh, no. This game is going to require me to remember things. I have the worst memory known to man. Like, I don't remember what I did, like, yesterday morning. Oh, shoot. This isn't going to be good. Requires a large-scale building project to designate a portion of their budget to powered art spending. Since Grandma has a particularly green thumb, she sometimes cultivates unique flowers commissioned by emergent property owners. One of Grandma's biggest sales was a species of crossbreed orchids that sing classic operas. It took Grandma years to achieve this horticultural miracle, but there is one flaw in the design. If you touch one of these orchids, it turns your fingertips a different color, depending on the opera it was trained to sing. Grandma sold these orchids exclusively to one downtown high-rise building. This means that if the thief's fingertips were painted yellow from Grandma's orchids, you know exactly where he lives, since only the penthouse apartment got the yellow Carmen orchids. That's the reason Jenny sent you this case list. She also knew about the operatic orchid imprinting. She must have seen the thief's fingertips in the case photo and waited on the information, knowing you'd be legally licensed to investigate today on your birthday. You leap off the roof in the direction of the yellow orchid penthouse, excitement coursing through your veins. This is a very big case. How do you feel about taking it on? I think this case is great for me. This case has a lot of money and publicity attached, and while other emerging heroes might not be ready to handle it on their first night, you certainly are. This orchid apartment is central downtown, so your flight over will be super short. It's also good. This thief can afford a penthouse because it's pretty easy for you to access by flight. Your first priority is finding the gravitas. By catching the thief would be an added bonus, but what's the best way to approach the entry? I'm going to see, of course, I'm at 96 because I flew twice. I'm going to keep hovering to see if I can find anyone at home. At a ritzy high-rise comes into view, you can see Grandma's yellow orchids on the balcony. You relax your muscles, slow your pace as you approach the building, which proves difficult as adrenaline pulses through your veins. Alright. You relax your muscles and slow your pace as you approach the building, which proves difficult as adrenaline pulses through your veins. You drop down along the wall, trying to keep out of sight. A building like this is bound to have an anti-powered security measures. Hovering close to the penthouse window, you peer into the living room to see if anyone is home. Your heart nearly stops as when you come face to face with a man standing inside the apartment, inches away from the glass. It's definitely the thief from the case photo, right down to the yellow stain. He looks for far less regal and far more menacing, with overgrown stubble and long greasy hair. You freeze, trying to decide what to do. Unfortunately, the thief thinks faster. He whips out a handgun and points it directly at you. How do you defend yourself? See if I can get it out of his way. I don't know if this shield already has the power deduction on it, so it should only be 4, or if that was supposed to originally cost 16. I don't know. So if that only costs 4, then I'd be at 92. And in that case, I'd be saving a power on my energy. But let's see if I can disarm him. Panicked, you close your eyes and allow a low energy pulse. You hear the glass wall separating you from the thief, and when you open your eyes, the thief gun lies on the floor, melted beyond repair. A loud alarm begins to sound, and the thief makes a run for it. Luckily, with the glass window now broken, you're able to fly right after him. As you pursue the thief, you expect him to run for the front door, which is why you're puzzled when he heads deeper into the lavishly decorated apartment. You race after him in the master bedroom suite. As you do, your question about his escape plan is suddenly answered. The thief didn't head for the front door because he's got a teleportation unit in his bedroom. Personal teleportation units were supposed to be the next wave for the transportation future, but the automotive industry piled millions of dollars into research and revealed the potential cancer risks of atomic fission. So the government had to ban the sale of the units, putting everyone back in planes, trains, and automobiles. This thief doesn't seem to care about potential carcinogens, however, since he is already inside the unit and programming the machine's teleportation course. Without hesitation, you point your hand to the console and let out energy bursts rip into the controls. The thief screams and jumps from the smoking unit, furious. He looks up at you and snarls, "That was a very big mistake, rookie." You can barely hear him over the alarms blowing in your ears. You know it's only going to be a minute before the police show up since you got to act fast. The thief seems to be thinking the same thing as he jumps to his feet and pulls something out of his belt. What's your best move? Yeah, you use an energy crackle. You let out a small crackle of energy meant to knock the weapon from him, but he unleashes an oversized red-hot sword and slices through your crackle with ease. It looks like it's a high-tech energy disruptor blade. The thief launches at you and takes a swipe with the blade, and you attack. You narrowly dodge. He has now come near enough that a close range attack should take him down. What's your next move? A close range attack should take him down. Alright, let's do a couple of punches then. Knowing the thief blades can knock your energy attacks, you shift to a physical attack. Smart move. You hold out your fist and hover a few, beginning a spin quickly and move. You like to barrage the thief with a series of swords. His hand instead of reeling across the room. How's my energy doing? 91. I'm good. Just as you have the thief disabled, you hear a wail of slugger. You curse. Knowing you're almost out of time, you aren't sure if the gravitas is even here in the apartment. You consider your options. You can wait for the police with them to locate the gravitas. This would garner some goodwill with the MCPD, but it also might compromise your access to Schiller's reward. Or you can interrogate the thief before the police arrive and try to find the gravitas on your own, taking all the reward and credit for yourselves. But if you do this, you definitely be pissing off the MCPD. I'd rather get it than not, you know. So 15 minutes later, you stand outside the building watching as the police haul the thief into the back of the detainment van. Next to you stands Officer Sanders, a grizzly veteran with a dark, almost black skin that contrasts with his grayish-white hair. His long scar where his left eyebrow should be, making his face appear lopsided, considering his right eyebrow is bushy and white. His age look doesn't seem to go with the technological upgrade MCPD uniform that's now standard issue, but he still is quite the commanding presence. You just told Officer Sanders everything about finding the thief. Well, not everything. You said you figured out the fingertip lead with an anonymous tip, since no one needs to know about your connections to Grandma and Jenny, nor that you're not necessarily a brilliant detective just yet. Turns out the thief's a gun for hire named Tracker, Officer Sanders says in a low, gravelly voice. He's got the power to discover the location of any person or object on the planet, so finding and stealing things is his specialty. You just helped us solve about 30 open theft cases. Anything to happen, sir, you say. Anything to help, sir, you say, laying it on a big thick. So are you sure he's the one who stole the gravitas? Listen, Officer Sanders says, leaning in to whisper. I'm technically not supposed to say anything to you, but you found this guy where no one else could, so we owe you one. If anyone asks, you figure this next part out on your own. Got it? Got it, you nod, already thinking this was a good move to work with the police. Tracker says he was hired by Smither to steal the gravitas. Officer Sanders says he remain eyebrows crinkled with severity. You freeze because you know exactly who Smither is, and learn that he's involved is not good news. We've already got officers en route to Smither's headquarters, but my guess is if you leave now, you can get there first. I'll tell my guys you're a friendly face. Just don't get in their way. I won't, you say, reaching to shake Officer Sanders' hand. Thank you, sir. You sure you can handle this? I don't need another dead rookie on my conscience. Don't worry, you'll be seeing a whole lot more of me, you promise. The name is Dunce, by the way. Well, good luck, Dunce, Officer Sanders. Against Smither, you're sure as hell gonna need it. And, well, I think that went well. I think that went really well, actually. So I have the police helping with our high techness. So I have team, I guess. Here are my stats for the last. I know I was going over a few of it. So my fame is going up, which is nice. Lawfulness is, I think, increased. Defensive definitely went up a little bit. I think like 3%, and team player went up another 4%. Power is a little low, so I need to watch that. Yeah, go from there. So on to the next chapter would be chapter 4. Let's go.